Welcome to the Westside Unitarian Universalist Congregation. I'm Rick Taylor, and in collaboration with Lisa Reitzes, members of the worship team, it's a great joy to be gathering with you for this poetry service on themes embedded in the Passover story from the book of Exodus: liberation, resistance, emancipation, transition, bravery, and loss. As we begin our service, let's take a moment to acknowledge that we are gathered on the traditional land of the Duwamish people, stewards of this land in the past and in the present. With humility and gratitude, we honor this land and the Duwamish tribe and commit to our role in the story of repair of our relationship with this land and its people. Whoever you are, wherever you have come from, whatever the color of your skin, whoever and however you love, however your body moves and your brain works, however you identify, you are welcome in this faith community. Our Unitarian Universalist tradition has no test of faith, no creed or oath to swear. We have instead the promises we make to one another, commitments we make to heal a hurting world within and beyond our walls. In his essay, A Defense of Poetry, Percy Shelley famously declares that poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world. Imagine. Their metaphors become our everyday language, their visions embedded in the way we see the world. Songs, hymns, prayers, poems, they both reveal and create our realities far more than we realize. In recognition of our Passover theme, with its motifs of escape or exodus, liberation and resistance, we're grateful for the contributions of Dejan Shagrut, Carrie Lucinian, and Jason Conley as they share poetry that has helped shape and articulate meaning distilled from the world around them. For our shorter poems, we'll ask our presenters to read the poem, provide a brief commentary, and then reread the poem.
From the book of Exodus, verse 12. So the people took their dough before it was leavened, their kneading bowls wrapped in their cloaks upon their shoulders. This is a poem called Ready by Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt. You'll need to travel light. Take what you can carry: a book, a poem, a battered tin cup, your child strapped to your chest, clutching your necklace in one hot, possessive fist. So the dough isn't ready. So your heart isn't ready. So you haven't said goodbye to the places where you hid as a child, to the friends who aren't interested in the journey, to the graves you've tended. But if you wait until you feel fully ready, you may never take the leap at all. And infinity is calling you forth out of this birth canal and into the future's wide expanse. Learn to improvise flat cakes without yeast. Learn to read new alphabets. Wear God like a cloak and stride forth with confidence. You won't know where you're going, but you have the words of our sages, the songs of our mothers, the inspiration wrapped in your kneading bowl. Trust that what you carry will sustain you and take the first step out the door.
And now let us take a moment to light our chalice. Our chalice lighter today is Karen Ainley. Would you please come forward? The chalice is the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist heritage. May its heat energize us for the work that is ours to do. May its light make our vision clear and bright. May its warmth comfort us always. This morning, as we light this flame, we mark this time as sacred time. We mark this space as sacred space. Let us share in all of this together. Now, as Karen lights our chalice, please join me in speaking the words of our congregation's affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to serve humanity in fellowship. Thus do we covenant with one another.
Thank you, Karen. And welcome again to the Westside Unitarian Universalist Congregation for this service marking the beginning of Passover, and to all of you who celebrated last night, a good Passover to you. We touch on the universal human themes here that are so resonant for Unitarian Universalists. If you're with us for the first time or the first time in a while, welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're here, both here in the sanctuary and joining online, to make some space in your life to attend to your heart and your spirit, to come together in community. Please visit your website, which you can do by scanning the QR code in the little yellow card in the pews, where you can fill out a welcome form so we can get to know you better and send you our weekly electronic newsletter, The Westside Week. It is so wonderful to see familiar and new faces today. Let us now take a few minutes to greet our neighbors around us.
I just skipped over David's name. I hope it was okay. Maybe we can still acknowledge him in the...
As always, it is wonderful to see such enthusiastic greetings among us. We'll hope we'll all continue these conversations downstairs after the service at the coffee hour. Each week, congregants who agree to light our chalice are offered a chance to speak from their heart. This is a chance for us to get to know them better and to invite more voices up here into our chancel. So Karen has agreed to offer a poem that is meaningful to her.
I came prepared with my tissues. I don't really know much about poetry, but I knew what I wanted to talk about, and then I found a poem that fits by a man named Dan Higgins. It's called The Stars Above. When we gaze upon the starry night, we feel their presence in the silent sky. Though they've journeyed out of mortal sight, in every star their love is nigh. Each twinkle is a message from above, a silent whisper in the velvet night, a reminder of their undying love, guiding us with a heavenly light. So when the world feels cold and we feel lost, we look to the stars, whatever the cost. For in their light, we see the host of parents loved and parents lost. For even in death, they're never gone. In starlit skies, their love shines on. So, as many of you know, as I've talked to you, loss brought me to Westside UU. I remember my mom told me after her mother, my grandmother, died at the age of 91, she said, I had my mother for 61 years, and it wasn't enough. 27 years later, I experienced the same thing. I had divorced in 2015 and moved with my daughter Jenny from Federal Way to West Seattle, and I sought out new friendships, and I had a very busy life. I was in a women's group, and I was busy with work and raising my daughter. Then my dad fell in February of 2018. They lived in LA, and I realized they had no support system down in LA anymore, and I moved them here in March of 2019. 2019 was the best year. After having lived away from my parents for 35 years, I had them with me. I saw them 3 or 4 times a week. I took them shopping. Jenny got to know her grandmother, and I saw how similar they were. I took my mom to theater. I took my dad to the Museum of Flight, and as soon as he walked in, he had been in the Air Force during the Korean War, and he looked across, he goes, I know that plane, that's a such and such, such and such. I worked on those. Well, 2019 didn't last very long. As we all know, 2020 hit, and I couldn't see my parents for a whole year other than what Jenny and I called the Romeo and Juliet visits, where mom and dad were up on the second floor leaning over, and Jenny and I would be down below. And so for a whole year, I didn't see them. During that time, their health declined, and by the time I was able to see them a year later, they lasted only another year. Dad died in February of 2022, and my mom died 2 months later. They had been married 66 years. I had my mom for 60 years, and it wasn't enough. So there's this huge gaping hole in my heart where once my parents used to reside. They'll always be in my heart, but now I had too much time on my hands. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Then last summer at the West Seattle Summer Fest, I saw a booth with lots of rainbows. And I talked to some truly lovely people. One visit to Westside UU last summer, and I was hooked. Joining the chorale was the icing on the cake. I have found my community, and in a sad but wonderful way, it's due to the loss of my parents. Losing them brought me here.
Please rise in body or spirit for our first opening hymn today. We're going to sing, I'm hearing a hum. We're going to sing Hine Ma Tov. It's number 392 in your hymnal. We're going to sing it through once in Hebrew, and then we'll sing it again in English. And then we'll return to the Hebrew, and I'm going to stay on the first part, and when Liz and Chris join on the second part, you can sing either part, whichever speaks to you. 2, 3, 4. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet ahim kam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim, shevet ahim kam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet ahim kam yachad. Hine ma tov, shevet ahim kam yachad. How good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together. How good it is and how pleasant for people to dwell together. Good and pleasant, people and peace together. Good and pleasant, people and peace together. Hine ma tavu manayim, shevet ahim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu 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 manayim, shevet ahim gam yachad.
Thank you today to John Hanson, Ronnie Bishop, and Marion Key, for accompanying the hymns and offering other musical elements here. We have a cast of thousands today, as you can tell.
In a moment, we will engage in our offering, a collective act of generosity when we take time to actively support Westside UU congregation and its many ministries with our gifts by text, check, or cash. Each month, we choose a community organization to share 1/3 of our undesignated offering gifts, that is, those donations not designated as your pledge contributions. For the month of April, our giving recipient is Congregational Care Fund. One of the essential functions of a church is its commitment to care for its congregants in times of need. One way we ensure we're able to do that is through putting money in a congregational care fund, sometimes known as a minister's discretionary fund. This is a pool of money that congregants can confidentially request support from when they're going through a difficult time. This money can be used to fund hotel rooms for people in housing transitions, or cover that last little bit of utility bills, or to call in professional support to clean up after fires or floods. In this time of economic uncertainty in the world, your contribution to our Congregational Care Fund will make us more able to support one another in the months and years ahead. You can give by text by sending a message with the $sign and the amount you want to give to the number on the screen. For folks here in the sanctuary who prefer to share your gifts by cash or check, the greeters will move among you shortly. If you'd like your gift to be recorded as coming from you, please use one of the envelopes in the pews. And now please enjoy this gift of music, Igadol Elohim Chai, by our Westside Winds. Thank you to everyone for giving as you're able to support Westside and our Congregational Care Fund. Your generosity of time, treasure, and presence are gifts that sustain us as a community. During each of our services, we like to take a moment to make collective space for holding the joys and sorrows of our community. As a reminder, if you would like a joy or sorrow to be shared from the pulpit or with our minister, you can find a form to submit that in our newsletter. On the first Sunday service of each month, it's the tradition of our congregation to honor the joys and sorrows of our members and friends, neighbors and loved ones with an embodied ritual. During this time, you're invited to approach our altar table from the side aisles, place a stone in one of our water bowls, and return to your seat in the center. Please, as you hold your stones, take a moment to fill them with any prayerful intention. As you place them in the bowl, feel all that you hold in your hearts mingling with the joys and sorrows of this whole community. For those joining remotely, you're invited to hold a stone or sacred object and do the same. If you have an altar or a place on your table, perhaps beside a chalice, you may want to use care and intention to place your object down.
Hi, I'm Dejan, and I wrote this poem some years back. Never hold back. A star is born in abstract space of contracting hydrogen plasma. It sucks itself together. The new star is in a state of constant all-out explosion. It takes a very long time. It's our sun. A planet emerges third from the sun with hostile landscape and deadly air. There is a traveler, life, trudging against every contention, rising up. It takes a stance and plunges outward ubiquitously. With each new foray and every species that begins or is ended, that transition was a last-ditch effort, time and time again. Leopards hide, await the wildebeest parade. Nearby, a waterhole beckons. Is it oleoxin free? No, siree. We spring from this heritage of all or nothing at all. How then can we be timid, waiting, holding back? No, I hope to die in pursuit, without a care or concern. I hold nothing hoarded in reserve, clutching to myself only joy. My thoughts about this poem center on being in the moment at hand, open to change and prepared for what life can unexpectedly throw at me. Flex and restand is a concept that comes to mind, sort of like the tall inflatable tube man. Flex and flex and flex again, and then pop up with this big silly grin on my face. Surely when life burst forth on that fateful day 3 billion years ago, it reproduced impatiently, evolving in every direction possible, developing millions of one-celled species. Then multi-celled critters repeated that exact duplication process. The billions of life forms needed food, and they were that for each other. The strongest did survive. Nowadays, it seems that survival will depend on helping each other survive. I have for a few decades now felt called to examine what life is and my role in it. Never hold back. A star is born in abstract space of contracting hydrogen plasma. It sucks itself together. The new star is in a state of constant all-out explosion. It takes a very long time. It's our sun. A planet emerges third from the sun with hostile landscape and deadly air. There is a traveler, life, trudging against every contention. Rising up, it takes a stance and plunges outward ubiquitously. With each new foray and every species that begins or is ended, that transition was a last-ditch effort, time and time again. Leopards hide, await the wildebeest parade. Nearby, a waterhole beckons. Is it oleoxin free? No, siree. We sprang from this heritage of all or nothing at all. How then can we be timid, waiting, holding back? No, I hope to die in pursuit, without a care or concern. I hold nothing hoarded in reserve, clutching to myself only joy.
summer have spoken in gowans that bloom on the shore. By night and day we sport and we play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away as we follow the heron home. In darkness we cradled our sorrows and stoked all our fires with fear. Now these bones that lie empty and hollow are ready for gladness to cheer. By night and day we sport and we play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away as we follow the heron home. So long may you sing of the salmon and the snow-scented sounds of your home, while the north wind delivers its sermon of ice and salt water and stone. By night and day we sport and we play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away as we follow the heron home. By night and day we sport and we play and delight as the dawn dances over the bay. Sleep blows the breath of the morning away as we follow the heron home. As we follow the heron home. As we follow the heron home.
Hi, I'm Carrie Lucinian. This poem I wrote, it's called Return. Each loss that falls eliminates some part of what we knew as life. The heart grows dull to loves and hates. The nerves withdraw from stress and strife. Some inborn ledger can't keep pace with debts far too numerous to track. But each loss opens up more space. Each adaptation calls us back to that first ground, the far unknown, the mystery that birth announced. And when we wander all alone, loves, quarrels, ledgers, all renounced, and enter where the wild things roam, each loss, each grace recalls us home. This poem was written during a writing challenge in December after a year with a lot of loss. I was thinking about how the losses that we can't prevent take away so much. They really shape the course of our lives and who we are, but they also have the power to carve out some truth in us to create as well as destroy. There are many kinds of loss that especially impinge on the soul and even on our survival: loss of family, friends and community, loss of ability, belonging, and safety. Anticipatory loss, when you prepare yourself for unavoidable pain, is especially hard And so is the moment of choice when you have to decide to lose one thing or else another. I'm finding myself and my country at that kind of crossroads now, knowing that what we choose decides who we will be. And I just want to add that although I do find some kind of meaning and truth in loss, that doesn't take away that loss destroys some part of us, and some losses, such as we've been hearing about today, loss of family, loss of friends, are truly unbearable. And my heart goes out to people who have spoken here today. And I would also like to dedicate this poem to my dear friend Svetlana in Ukraine. Return. Each loss that falls eliminates some part of what we knew as life. The heart grows dull to loves and hates. The nerves withdraw from stress and strife. Some inborn ledger can't keep pace with debts too numerous to track, but each loss opens up more space. Each adaptation calls us back to that first ground, the far unknown, the mystery that birth announced. And when we wander all alone, loves, quarrels, ledgers, all renounced, and enter where the wild things roam, each loss, each grace recalls us home. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Jack Conley, and the poem that I've written that I've chosen to read today is called 22nd Note. 20 seconds. That's the upper reach of how long a seasoned singer can support a single note. Just 20 seconds, then they have to breathe. Add one more voice, then two can sing in turns, but the volume dips and dives, the note limps to the finish line. Add yet another voice. The trio takes turns breathing, with every breath a twosome lends support. And each voice after that so adds to the anthem until in theory one note is infinite, seamless in its synchrony, 2 or 10 or 20 breaths not missed. So how shall you shout out your song? Will you tear it from a tattered throat alone in 20-second tones, or join the clamoring choir and rest in the comfort that others are prepared to sing for you so that you can breathe? 20-second tones or a seamless sound? Which song will you sing? So I begin too many conversations like this these days, but I recently read a post online. I know. Bear with me, I promise it's a good one. Even if I can't remember where I saw it or find it again. Anyway, it said something along the lines of, if you have enough voices and everybody gets a turn to breathe, a large enough choir could, in theory, sing a single note forever without stopping. I'm sure the actual post was more articulate. Even if the exact words didn't stick with me, the idea did. What can we accomplish if we just support each other? The idea continues to stick in my head day after day, and you don't need me to tell you that we're in some trying times right now. I say this not to bemoan our state as a country, as a community, but to explain where my head was at when I read that internet post. That post came to me in a time of extra hopelessness, and it inspired me to breathe. I am an out and proud queer person, newly engaged to another queer person. During what should be, and still is, a very happy time in our lives together, our rights are under attack. We're not alone. Many people's fundamental rights are under attack. But people haven't given up. They won't. We won't. We're still out there fighting for ourselves and our friends and our neighbors every day. I see it every day. So I've spent a lot of time thinking about how people show resilience. Charity, service, education, protests, performance, campaigning, voting, unions, mutual aid, all of these things require us to come together with others and participate in something bigger than ourselves. Or at least it makes things a whole lot easier if we do. Writing helps me process the world. So my thoughts about resilience and my desire to say something about the need to unite in the face of, well, everything, turned into this poem. It's a piece of my brain, a little call to action, a reminder to myself and others that it's okay to stop and breathe. Even in the darkest times, we have the precious gift of each other. And together, we can and will persevere, whatever comes. As for the 20 seconds, that's how long a trained singer can actually hold a note. At least, I read that in another internet post. 20 seconds. That's the upper reach of how long a seasoned singer can support a single note. Just 20 seconds. Then they have to breathe. Add one more voice, then two can sing in turns, but the volume dips and dives, the note limps to the finish line. Add yet another voice, the trio takes turns breathing. With every breath, a twosome lends support, and each voice after that so adds to the anthem until, in theory, one note is infinite, seamless in its synchrony, 2 or 10 or 20 breaths not missed. So how shall you shout out your song? Will you tear it from a tattered throat alone in 20-second tones, or join the clamoring choir and rest in the comfort that others are prepared to sing for you so you can breathe? 20-second tones or a seamless song? What song will you sing? Thank you.
We invite you to rise in body or spirit and sing with us Wo Ya Ya. It's number 1020 in the Teal hymnal.
Thank you so much to our participants, Rainier Reunion, and the West Wind the West Side Winds. Our instrumentalists, John Hanson, Ronnie Bishop, and Marion Key. Lisa Reitzes, Reverend Katie Lawson, Karen Ainley, Dejan Chagrud, Carrie Lucinian, Jack Conley, Nate Mesnard and Henry Sikora, our tech workers, ushers, our hospitality people. So many people make this possible. It's a pleasure and an honor to do this sacred work together.
I think, yeah. Thank you so much for being here today. This is a very special project for us, a very special collaborative endeavor, and it has meant a lot to all of us to bring it to you and to have you here on this beautiful sunny day. In a moment, we'll release our flame. I want to say, before I go, thanks to Rick. These two retired academics have had a good time with this. Thank you, Rick, for the creative partnership that has brought this service into being, and we have benefited as well so much from the support offered us by Reverend Carter for this sacred work and for the support and talents of all of these amazing musicians. So please, if you would, rise in body or spirit for our closing words. We'll return to the poem we began with by Rabbi Rachel Barenblatt. You have the words of our sages, the songs of our mothers, the inspiration wrapped in your kneading bowl. Trust that what you carry will sustain you and take the first step out the door. And now, as Karen releases our flame, may you go into this week blessed and blessing the world. We hold you in our love as you go.